She's a stupid drunk. Couldn't even pull a cork out of a plonk bottle.
You know, it might look a lot better for you if you admit to the truth. You're going to need all the pluses you can get.
They're going to hang me no matter what I do.
Then what have you got to lose? Think about it. You can take away things.
Like you say, what have I got to lose? Okay. So I did it. How long does it take extradition papers to get through?
Sometimes just hours.
But I've got to finish my time in the pound before they take me, haven't I?
It's just a couple of days. They won't mind waiting. Can't stay in solitary all your life.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris.
When would the extradition hearing take place?
In a few days.
So you don't want to see Hazel Kent?
There's no need. If she's smart, she'll confess to taking the money from Mackenzie. If she's smarter, she'll admit that she made a false report to the police regarding the robbery.
But Hazel denied she admitted to the robbery.
And yet the police have a full confession.
I know. That's what I don't understand.
She must have forgotten. Or maybe she was drunk. I gather that's not unusual. It doesn't pay to make waves. Goodbye, Mrs. Morris.
Now, I know what you're going to say, Colleen.
Well, this is official, Meg, so don't get involved.
But Hazel was either tricked or coerced into that confession, and Lovell knows it.
All right. But Mackenzie has admitted to the robbery, so Kent can relax.
And so can the police, who railroaded her into it, if she doesn't fight it.
She won't fight it. God, she'd know better than to try.
Then they get away with it, then.
Think of it as a compromise. Oh, yeah, we know that's a very dirty word to you, but that's how it is. Come on, Meg, in this job you either bend a little or you break. And believe you me, our Joan would be more than happy to pick up your pieces.
Good afternoon, Barry Simmons. I have an appointment to see Mrs. Davis.
Barry!
Hello, Meg. Oh, don't tell me you're going to join the uniform brigade again.
Afraid so. What on earth are you doing here?
I'm the new social worker. Well, it's nothing permanent, sort of a tryout, you know, both ways. I'm not sure if I could stick the routine.
Well, believe me, you're badly needed here. I can't believe the department was so quick off the mark.
Well, it's so good to see you. Although I've got to say, I've seen you better dressed in the past.
Well, this is a bit establishment for you, as I remember.
I think I preferred it when you were a humble welfare worker and we both carried a torch for the oppressed.
Well, don't let this uniform fool you. Nothing else has changed. Come on, sign in. I'll take you through.
Sure.
Can I have a word with you when you're through with Mrs. Davidson?
Was something wrong?
I'll tell you later.
Gee, you look like you got done like a dinner.
I never see anything interesting when I'm in the kitchen.
There was nothing to see.
Well, by the look of you, love.
Lizzie.
Well, what's eating her?
It's Nola doing patty over. She's in solitary for it.
Gee, solitary will get her good and mad.
Nah, it'll only help to cool her down.
I wouldn't bet on that, Lizzie.
Oh, come on, knock it off, you lot. Nola may be tough, but she's not stupid. And she has been warned.
Well, that don't always work.
No, but at least it...
Wait. Is this a private party, or can anyone join in?
Anyone, not anything.
What was that, Latham?
I didn't say nothing.
It isn't what I asked you when I came in.
I'm sorry.
You've lost your point for the day.
Oh, hang on, what reason?
For failing to answer my question. Oh, no, sir. Oh, not a pretty sight, but a distinct improvement. Your hands hurt too.
No.
Well, put 'em to work.
Your credentials seem fine, Mr. Simmons, as you do realise that your work in the prison will be far more confined than what you're used to.
Yes. To be honest, I am not altogether sure at this point how I'll fit in, Mrs. Davidson. You see, I prefer it on the streets. It's where I cut my teeth, and I find that a challenge.
I see you've done quite a lot of work with drug rehabilitation.
Well, I instigated a couple of new approaches to the problem, which are now in general use, yeah.
We're not averse to new ideas.
I hope not. My main concern is that these places have too many rules and regulations for me.
Necessary rules and regulations, I'm afraid.
Of course, I understand that.
As your appointment is only a temporary one, we'll keep everything on a casual basis. That way you'll be able to feel your own way in your own time.
It's fine by me.
Good. Now, 2 of the inmates have expressed a wish to see you. They're both due for release shortly and would like some advice on the employment prospects. Latham and Lawson.
It sounds like a law firm.
The only knowledge they have of the law is from the wrong side, I'm afraid. It won't be easy finding jobs for them, but that should be quite a challenge for you.
Yes, they've both got quite a record. Oh, well, nothing's impossible, Mrs. Davidson.
Looks better like this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You feeling any better?
No, I'm not. On top of our little problems, 2 of the girls from the house here have ended up back in jail before they had time to scratch themselves. Police must be really impressed with me. This house is becoming a springboard straight back into jail.
What do you expect with the surroundings so bleak? No one can make a fresh start from this place. Driscoll House needs a facelift. A bit of paint, some fixing up. It needs some money spent on it.
Meaning?
Think what you could do with $10,000. I mean, you could have this place looking really great. And you know how good it would be for the girls' morale. You'd be just a sort of chump that'd spend it all on the house. Think about it, Judy. If we have to take the case to court, we can prove that Dad didn't know what he was doing. And do you think it's fair for us to wind up with nothing after looking after him for 25 years?
I don't know what to think, Fran. All I know is Dad left me his money. That's what he wanted. Now, if I had been there, we could have talked about it and sorted something out for all of us. I know that.
Life's not like that. You ought to know that by now, Judy.
Yeah, the best laid plans at mice and men, eh?
Well, if I were you, I'd take the money and make a new start for myself. If you do okay here, I guarantee the folks back home will find it easier to accept... Well,
My wicked past, huh?
I wasn't going to put it quite like that.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't. Fran, I would really love to be able to go home. I would love everyone to accept me. But I have to think about all this.
Well, just make sure you do. It is $10,000, Jude. It's not chicken feed.
Yeah, I know.
Milk and 1 sugar?
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so what's your problem?
It's Hazel Kent, one of the inmates. She's a bit of a sad case, really. Here for her 3rd or 4th sentence. She was brought in on suspicion of armed robbery in Western Australia. But we've since found out that the crime was committed by another inmate, Nola Mackenzie.
Well, so what's the problem? She's home free.
No, not quite. She's already confessed to stealing some of the proceeds of the robbery from Mackenzie, so she's still in trouble. But she could be in far more than she deserves.
Well, how come?
Well, just between us, Barry.
Sure.
She was verbaled by the interrogating officer. Now, if it comes to an inquiry, Hazel could stick too close to the truth for her own good.
Oh, come on, Meg. You can't ask me to ignore her verbally.
No. What I'm saying is that this could delay her release. Now, she needs to get out, and I'm trying to help her.
Okay, go on then.
Well, Detective Inspector Lovell's over from Western Australia. He's here to extradite Mackenzie for trial. Now, he knows the circumstances and is most anxious to avoid a rumpus.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Now, he says the best course of action for Hazel to take is to confess to the illegal possession of money, but to cover up the matter of the verballing. Now, I agree, but for Hazel's sake, and this is where you can help me.
How?
Well, regulations won't allow me to communicate with the prisoners.
But I can, right? Yeah.
Right. Now, what I want you to say is, and this is important, I want you to tell her to say that she made the initial false statement, not because of the verballing, but to protect herself from the other prisoners.
You can stop right there, Meg. I'm way ahead of you.
You mean you'll do it?
Of course. Now stop looking so worried.
Oh, Joan, this is Barry Simmons, Joan Ferguson. Barry's our new social worker.
Hello, Joan. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, please call me Barry. I can't stand formality.
Well, I had a rather old-fashioned upbringing, so you'll just have to endure my formality, Mr. Simmons.
Nah, B, you gotta
This is
put it...
called patience, because you're supposed to play it on your own without any advice from you.
Yeah, but I know how to play.
I was all set to blow the whistle on the cops, and now I don't know.
That Simmons bloke reckons I'll be better off if I keep my mouth shut.